2020 was a year full of surprises, and the rap world was no different. Despite the pandemic and quarantines across the country, many artists still couldn't stay out of trouble. Here's a look at some of the most popular rappers arrested in 2020. Lil Yachty. Miles Parks McCollum, better known by his stage name Lil Yachty, is a rapper and singer from Atlanta, Georgia. Yachty is best known for his hit viral singles like One Night and Minnesota that popped off in 2015. He made a name for himself as a colorful-haired mumble rapper who blurred the lines between being a meme, a pop star, and a trap rapper. Yachty released his fourth studio album, Lil Boat 3, on May 29, 2020, just a few months before he was arrested for driving more than 150 miles per hour in a Ferrari. Yachty was born and raised in Mableton, Georgia, a suburban area outside of Atlanta. Yachty's father was a famous hip-hop photographer named Shannon McCullum, who's known for capturing iconic photos of artists like Outkast, Dead Prez, and Too Short. Yachty briefly attended Alabama State University, but dropped out after one semester to pursue a career in music. He moved to New York City in 2015 and worked at McDonald's to support himself while he built his online following and networked with music and fashion industry influencers. He released the track One Night in December 2015, which quickly became a viral hit. A few months later, Yachty appeared as a model in Kanye West's Yeezy Season fashion show and released his debut mixtape, Lil Boat, in March of 2016. A month later, he had a Billboard charting song with Broccoli alongside Drum and went on to release several other hit singles. Yachty's upbringing was not quite as rough as many of his contemporaries in the rap game. However, Lil Boat is no stranger to trouble. In 2015, Yachty and his friend were arrested at a mall in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida for credit card fraud. According to a local newspaper, they were caught with 39 credit cards on them. Yachty and his accomplice were charged with fraud, forgery, and counterfeiting. Yachty was released on an $11,000 bond and later had his records expunged, but he claims that this was the event that made him take rapping more seriously. Yachty stayed out of trouble for the next 5 years as his career took off, until he was arrested on September 21st, 2020 for going over 150 miles per hour. State troopers pulled him over in a white Ferrari on September 25th, 2020. A cop had noticed him speeding and weaving between lanes and followed him down the interstate in Atlanta. This incident came only a year after Yachty totaled a red Ferrari in a similar incident when he was speeding down Georgia State Route 400 in June. Yachty was arrested and brought to Atlanta City Jail, where he was charged with reckless driving and speeding. He was released shortly after the incident and went on TikTok to confirm the arrest. He also went on IG Live to talk about the case and told his viewers that he had learned his lesson.
Yeah, niggas look a little rough. Nah, pain, I'm good, man. I'm good. I don't need pain. I'm done. I'll never drive fast again. I swear. I learned my lesson. I'm cool. I'm good, man. No more speed for me, man.
Yachty will likely get away with nothing but a slap on the wrist. Although, you'd think crashing one Ferrari would have taught him that lesson already. If you thought that was crazy, this next rapper got arrested in 2020 for murder. Yep, that's right. Here's the crazy story. Lil Loaded. Deshaun Roberts, aka Lil Loaded, is a rapper from Dallas, Texas, best known for his breakout hit, Block Baby. Lil Loaded is still an up-and-coming rapper who has built a decent amount of buzz for himself. The original version of Block Baby was released in 2019 and currently has more than 25 million views on YouTube. The song was remixed a few months later to include a verse from NLE Choppa and brought even more attention to the artist. However, just as Loaded was gaining some traction, he was arrested on November 9, 2020 for the murder of 18-year-old Kalia Walker. Lil Loaded was originally born in California but moved to Dallas with his mother when he was 10. He was raised by a single mother while his father was in prison. He was involved in street activity from a young age and started selling weed at 12. When he was 15, his older brother was shot and killed, an incident that made him take music more seriously.
When you were 15 years old, something happened.
Yeah, when I was 15, my big brother got killed.
Do you remember getting that call?
Yeah.
How'd you feel when you got that phone call?
Really, I thought they was gonna tell me my mama had died. Cause my mama was stressing. I wasn't even in Dallas. I was like in Arizona and California. Cause things were, I was getting in the streets and my mama, she was trying to, help me out. But when I got the call, I wasn't even in Texas. So it messed with me cause I know, like, if I was there, it probably could have been something different.
Lil Loaded is a member of the Rolling 60s Crips and has made many references to the gang in his music, including his project Crip Tape. Check out our video on rappers and gangs for a deeper look at Lil Loaded's gang ties. He was involved in many fights and shootouts growing up in Dallas, including one time when he was shot in the hand and had the bullet taken out by a friend's mother in the hood.
From what you said in an interview, that you actually put your hand up to your face.
Yeah.
And you got shot in the hand. So if your hand wasn't there, you would have gotten shot in the face.
Yeah.
Okay, but how bad was the injury?
The bullet didn't go through my hand. Like, it didn't come out the back.
So you still have a bullet in you?
No, it got stuck. It got took out. Like, it's certain people in the hood you can trust, you can go to and shit.
Wait. I've never even heard about this before. Okay. So you're telling me you went to like a hood doctor to take the bullet out?
Yeah. My partner mom.
He started rapping at 18 and began to blow up just a few months later. His career started to take off after a Polish YouTuber, Tommy Craze, reacted to his video for LaCKIN in a series where he reviewed music with 0 views. After that, Loaded went on to release a string of hits and collaborate with popular artists like Polo G and YG. But just as things were looking up for Lil Loaded, he was arrested for the murder of his friend Savage Boosie. Loaded and Kalia Walker, aka Savage Boosie, were seen by Walker's siblings hanging out together outside the family's home on the afternoon of October 25th, 2020. A witness testified that 2 shots went off, and Kaija Walker, the victim's sister, went outside to find Kalia dead with a gunshot wound in his torso. Loaded was nowhere to be found. A warrant was issued for his arrest, and he has turned himself in to police on November 9th. He took to social media shortly after to state his innocence and claimed that authorities were trying to frame him as guilty. Sean Cotton of Sage Cheese TV told Complex that the story was that the gun went off by accident and the incident was not a simple murder. However, the case is still ongoing, so there's little evidence available to prove Loaded's side of the story, other than the IG post. The DaBaby rapper was released from jail a month later on December 8th, 2020, after posting a $500,000 bail. He released his most recent project, Crip Tape, before the end of the year, featuring tracks from other up-and-coming artists like Hot Boy and Pooh Shiesty. Lil Loaded has a unique sound that blends southern trap with a California bounce. He's charismatic in interviews and could easily become a big name if he can beat this charge. The case is still ongoing, and at this time, it's not clear what evidence the authorities have to link Loaded to the killing, other than witness testimony claiming he was present at the time of the shooting. Despite having a murder case over his head, Loaded continues to release music and hasn't let the news slow his hustle. Only time will tell if Loaded will beat the case and become a household name or become another promising rapper caught up in the streets. The next rapper was almost locked up in 2020 for pointing the gun at some angry Trump fans. Let's get right into it. Offset.
Rapper Offset being detained and then released by police. That's after an alleged confrontation with Trump supporters. ABC's Zorine Shah is in LA with much more on this. Zorine, good morning to you.
Rapper Offset allegedly clashing with Trump supporters, his wife Cardi B, hours before documenting pro-Trump demonstrators in the area.
Kiari Kendrell Cephas, better known as Offset, one-third of the Migos, is a rapper from Gwinnett County, Georgia. Offset was raised in a middle-class area outside of Atlanta. He formed the music group The Migos in 2008, along with his cousin Quavo and his nephew Takeoff. Despite the generational relationships being different, the three are around the same age and grew up together in Gwinnett. The crew's breakout hit came in 2013 with the track Versace, and they went on to release a string of hit songs like Fight Night, Bando, and Bad and Bougie. Offset has had frequent legal problems and controversies throughout his career. When the Migos was first blowing up on a national level in 2013, Offset was in jail for a probation violation he received related to felony convictions for burglary and theft. In 2015, the group was arrested for marijuana possession at a concert at Georgia Southern University. Takeoff, Quavo, and 6 members of their entourage were released, while Offset and a group of others were detained. While in custody, Offset was charged with battery and inciting a riot for allegedly attacking another inmate. He spent 8 months in jail fighting the charge and was released after accepting a plea deal in 2015. Since then, he's been arrested a few other times on minor charges, such as driving without a suspended license and inciting another riot at the Washington Avenue Armory in Albany, New York, after a performance where 6 people were stabbed. Then, in 2020, Offset was arrested after an altercation with Trump supporters in Beverly Hills. On October 24, 2020, Offset's ex-wife and baby mama Cardi B posted videos to Instagram recording all the Trump supporters in the area, claiming that she thought they were gonna get jumped.
I really feel like we're gonna get jumped. Oh my God! Trump supporters are everywhere. I'm scared. I don't like it with their big ass truck. I don't like this shit. Look at this. Look at this. Look how they walking around with fake guns and covering their fucking face. I don't like this shit.
During a rally being held in the area on that day, one of the Trump supporters claims that a man in a vehicle driving by pointed a gun at him. He gave the authorities a license plate number, and police tracked the vehicle to find Offset recording an IG Live video. In the video, the police attempt to question Offset about the incident, and the rapper resists, claiming that he was doing nothing wrong. After threatening to sue them several times, the police eventually get Offset to exit the vehicle, which is when they bring him to the police station.
No, you can't. Get out this car right now. You can't just open my door. You can't just open my door. You can't just open my door. It's illegal. I'm gonna sue the shit out of y'all. Y'all know who I am? What is you grabbing my fucking wrist for, bro? So aggressive, bro.
Although Offset was the one driving the car, it was his passenger who was arrested for the charge. 20-year-old Marcelo Almanzar. Offset was questioned by authorities but released shortly after, while Almanzar was held on a $20,000 bond. No one was hurt, and Offset was not charged with any crime. Whether the tip to authorities was real or just a Trump supporter harassing the Migos is yet to be seen. Given the amount of money and influence that Offset has in the music industry, it's unlikely that the arrest will result in anything. However, if any of the Migos is gonna get locked up during the pandemic, it's likely gonna be Offset.